the throat clear in a while. Your legendary at the beginning of the show. You haven't done that in a while. But you did today. What? It must be a big show today because you just did it. Go ahead.
When I start playing guitar, I actually do that. I don't sing.
At the beginning of every session?
That's amazing.
Yeah. It's kind of like a reset, you know?
Then he plays like 3 notes.
Yeah.
Then
no singing involved, but still.
Then he goes to bed.
Yeah.
And doesn't sleep well because he's too wired.
Gotta hone in on those 3 notes, you know?
Yeah. Oh, baby. We're just hitting our stride, you know? It's like this is one of those longer races. It's not a sprint.
A marathon?
I don't know if it's quite a marathon. Maybe it is.
More turtles?
It might. Maybe it's a marathon. I don't know.
Okay.
Because apparently you could be running these marathons and then part way through, you're just like on a high of some kind. Mm-hmm. We got more dogs joining us today. Yeah, apparently you get to a point you've been running in this marathon and I mean, I don't know this feeling. To me, I just feel like I want to puke. You know what I mean? If I'm running for that long. However, if I'm playing hockey, then I don't. I can push myself to the extent of feeling like I'm going to puke as well, but I don't notice it because I'm like not. I'm in some other place trying to like not take a puck in the teeth. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I'm like.
There's another type of focus there too.
Body's on high alert.
Yeah.
And then on the marathon side, it's more of like a meditation thing where you have to kind of generate that in the moment, that kind of like type of thing. You got to generate it yourself. It's a different skill.
And that's when you puke?
That's right. I'm like, yeah. No. I'll figure it out one day. I'm sure I'll figure it out one day, Will.
Good.
But when it comes to that type of thing, I'm more on the stationary bike.
Right.
With the cycling and stuff like that.
No, I hear you.
But I know you were doing the running for a while, so don't worry. I won't make you. We're not doing an official follow-up here, all right? I know guitar is the thing right now. Guitar and Broncos and everybody knows the story of Willie Dude.
Yeah.
Oh, man. A lot of stuff's been going on, and you know we got to hit you with the updates because you need to know what's going on in the world, and it's a crazy place right now, no doubt about it. And like I'm out in the public when I'm not on here, and everybody is wanting to talk to me about what's going on in Europe and what's going to happen and what are the latest developments and you know what are the latest concerns. And here's an example of one. This one of the things, Mo. You've heard obviously of Zelensky. Mm-hmm. He's become kind of legendary, right? He's out. He's with the troops. Mm-hmm. He's breaking bread, so to speak. He's going nowhere, right? He's like, I don't need a lift. I need ammo. Mm-hmm. You know.
Yeah.
He was an actor before this, so I gotta believe, you know, he knows how important the appearance of things is.
Absolutely.
And if he's there and if it's solidarity, then the people are there's going to be hope. There's going to be morale, all this kind of stuff. He bounces. He's like, good luck, guys.
Yeah.
He's like, what? Excuse me?
That changes the tone.
Excuse
completely.
me? Mm-hmm. That's like me. Okay, this is not to the same extent, but imagine me with the youngsters at the hockey game. Mm-hmm. I give a little pep talk and then I'm like, good luck, guys. And then
you leave.
I'm like, I'm busy. I got stuff to do. Yeah. And they're like, that doesn't, screw that. That's like Mighty Ducks. Like, screw that guy.
Mm-hmm. Who said that?
No, I said Mighty Ducks because I feel like Coach Bombay was worried about his business.
Oh, yeah, Bombay.
I feel like Coach Bombay might have been worried about his business because he showed up in the limo. He's like, who cares about you kids? Who cares about this?
That's when he changed.
Anyway, hockey and movies is one thing. What's happening in Ukraine is very real. And for Zelensky, it's very real because he's not going anywhere. But also, here's something you got to think about, Mo. If you get elevated as this symbol of hope, right, you become a massive target.
Yeah.
Because the elimination of that hope is really a bullet away, which is...
Yeah. And the elimination of hope is...
However, and the reason I bring this up because there's been 3 assassination attempts this past week on Zelensky. They believe that there's a mercenary group called the Wagner Group, and they got one target on their minds. And these guys are sort of like a more shock troop type special force. They roll in groups of like 4 to 8. Right. I mean, this is all.
And
this is
extremely
if you're on the internet. Listen, guys, we're on the internet. Let's just get real here. Will's on the internet, Mo's on the internet, I'm on the internet. And I don't mean we're broadcasting on the internet right now. I mean, we increasingly live on the internet, and we would hear some report, and we would hear a counter report, and we would hear a description of a thing, and we would hear a counter description of a thing. We're all in this mess.
Is this your disclaimer?
That's a disclaimer. But basically what's been said in some of these articles regarding this Wagner group is that they roll in groups of like 4 to 8, and they have specialized missions, and they don't wear the military uniform.
Right, undercover.
And they speak Ukrainian. And I could go on and on.
Wow, so you never know.
Whatever it takes.
And apparently these assassination attempts have contributed in a way to these curfews. There's something in this article, it says,
6 p.m., right?
The warning around these curfews is you best get inside or else you might get liquidated. Imagine that terminology, liquidated.
Is that what it actually says?
I don't know, one of these articles.
Yeah. Here.
Civilians were warned they could be liquidated if they were spotted outside during curfew hours, as they would be assumed to be the enemy. And so by getting the Ukrainian citizens back into their premises, whoever's still out, they're like, let me go check these guys out. Dangerous, dangerous game.
Right.
So anyway, apparently this group is on him. The thing about when you have these mercenary groups, Mo, is that they're not, and again, this is sources, and again, nobody recognizes this group.
Right.
You go to Putin, you're like, what's the Wagner group doing? He's like, who's the Wagner group?
Yeah.
What you talking about?
They're off the books.
Is that your group?
Yeah.
I thought it was your group. Sounds like your group. You seem to know a lot about them. You're like, are you accusing me of hiring a mercenary group?
On myself?
He's like, yes, absolutely. So anyway, he's hanging in there. Nothing has broken through yet. They're fortified around him. They need to protect him. Obviously, very important for their cause. But and who knows? Like maybe they want to capture him. I don't know if he's worth more dead or alive, Mo. As a prisoner, I don't think Putin has stated publicly that even though he considers himself to be target number one. I really don't know, because let me give you one more, Mo.
Please do.
Let me give you one more.
All right.
You talk about hope.
Yeah.
You talk about motivation. You might also talk about revenge.
Interesting.
You might kill a guy where it
incites even more.
Where those that were followers of him, he gets elevated to some post-human saint martyrdom type status.
Yeah.
Be careful.
Definitely.
Be careful. And actually just like negotiate or something.
Yeah, do the civil thing.
I mean, if we're on the topic here.
Yeah.
Holy. A fire at a Ukrainian. Oh, this one, don't even worry about the invasion, conflict. Worry about the obliteration of all of Europe. Because the biggest nuclear power plant in Europe was on fire yesterday.
In Ukraine or in?
It's in the Ukraine. And I'm not talking about Chernobyl. Yeah, because of a bomb. And people are like, holy cow, you're so irresponsible. You're going to wipe us all. 10x the damage of Chernobyl. This would reach well beyond Ukraine's borders if this thing blew. All right. Or had a meltdown or whatever. Now, they saw it on fire and they said, and everybody said, you're dumb. Like, what? So who?
Yeah. No.
Nobody, right? This is.
Whoa. That's crazy.
Could be a massive catastrophe. Russian forces attacked and subsequently seized control of a massive nuclear power plant in Ukraine early Friday. A fire at the site caused by a projectile, there's a video of it, was extinguished. amid warnings from officials. Yeah, it's not going to melt down right now. Now, the thing about these nuclear power plants, it's very fortified, the actual reactor.
Okay.
It would be a wall inside of a wall.
Right.
And they
But come,
you don't want bombs.
bombs.
That'll
Make a
do it.
difference.
Bomb.
That might do it.
This is the clip. Mo explains bombs.
It goes bombs.
Yeah, it was like bombs. They destroy things. Okay, so they put out the fire, but they were saying, hey, if they're capable of doing this, and if we continue to battle over the control of this particular nuclear facility, and something else gets damaged, maybe the reactor itself doesn't get penetrated, but there's other things that can happen, like if the cooling gets turned off, like in Fukushima. If you ain't got the cooling on the nuclear reactor, you know what's going on, right, Mo?
No, please elaborate.
We get a meltdown,
And then
disaster, complete destruction, right? From the inside out. From the inside out.
is it the same effect as if it blew up?
It might. It's more. It might be more gradual, like it was in Japan.
Right.
But eventually, yes, all that radioactive material
Has to go somewhere.
is leaking out into, and you don't clean this stuff up. Like you ruin entire territories for
Hundreds of thousands.
you.
of years.
You would evacuate Chernobyl. They evacuated 350,000 people to never come back.
Yeah,
Like
I know.
so, 10x. You're talking about millions of people to never set foot.
But yeah,
It is a different level of destruction with the power plant. So, terrifying stuff. I don't think this is not helping anyone's cause to be nilly-willy around the power plants. The rockets and such are one thing, but you leave these ones off the list. Mo, you leave those ones off the list.
I'll do my best.
Okay?
Yeah.
China is set to cancel broadcasting of the Premier League this weekend. That's the football. That's the soccer. It's a big deal. That's the three Billies we were talking about. That's the Chelsea we were talking about. That's the oligarchs we were talking about. Premier League, there's expectations that this weekend there's going to be signs and showcases of solidarity in the Ukraine situation as they get on the broadcast. I don't know what they're wearing, an armband. Are they going to have a moment of silence? What are they going to do?
Yeah, I don't know.
No, but China's worried, I guess, about what they're going to do. At least that's what this report claims, that they might just kick the whole thing off the air because they don't want this influence coming across the state-owned channels and such. I want to keep it a little bit hush. As reported by the BBC, China's actions come as a result of the top flight's plans to demonstrate a further show of solidarity with Ukraine following the invasion of the country by Russia. China has denounced economic sanctions that have been imposed by the UK and the EU against Russia and blamed the US and its allies for provoking Moscow. So their message seems to be sort of lined up there with Putin. I mean, they did the 5,000 words.
Yeah.
They talked about NATO at the Olympics. They're like, we're not big on the NATO. We're not in the NATO. We don't like the NATO. You don't need 5,000 words. They use 5,000 words to say basically that.
Yeah.
And we don't like NATO getting closer to us. Yeah. Who do they think they are? We are the real. I said there's something in there about democracy. We're the real. Oh. We're going to bring true democracy. Coming from the guys who have been in power for 47 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Will, take it easy over there. Will's like, yes, exactly. Jeez. Let him hear it, Will. Get it off your chest.
No, I'm good.
You guys are professionals now. You
Well,
know that?
Go ahead.
The two of you are sharp these days. I got to be honest. This practice makes perfect thing.
Yeah.
I mean, you even got, what is that, a travel mug you got now?
Yeah. I'm ready to go.
That's incredible stuff. So, this is cool if you like jets. The U.S. is flying its F-35s in full stealth mode near Belarus as part of NATO's collective defense operations. Now, they're not doing anything at the moment.
Yeah, I was just going to say.
But they're ready to do something. So here's how it goes. Let me do a little NATO for you. Here's how it goes. You're in NATO, you're not in NATO. You're not in NATO. We're nearby. We keep our distance. You're in NATO. 1 bomb equals 2 bombs. Instant retaliation. It's the way it's supposed to work. So this entire invasion is close enough to NATO nations that in order to have equivalent retaliation, you would have to have this equipment nearby.
Right.
And
you're prepared.
Active.
Yeah.
But what's significant here about these F-35s, this is, by the way, the F-35 Lightning II aircraft, is that there's different ways that they can be configured. And this is the stealthiest configuration you can ever see. According to analysts, these F-35s are not carrying radar cross-section enhancers or reflectors during this mission. During routine missions, the plane is equipped with those things. However, in order to not be detected or least likely to be detected, like air traffic controllers can't pick these things up in this configuration. Very stealthy, right? You don't want anyone to know that you're there. But these photos that were captured is actually refueling. Look at these photos, how cool these are. Look how cool that is.
Wow.
Click on them so we can see them bigger.
Refueling in the air?
Yeah, Mo.
I never really thought about it, but of course that's how you would do it.
Refueling in the air, man. Go back to look at that. Look at
very techie. Very cool.
And so stealthy with the matte finish and like no markers.
No branding.
It almost looks like a spaceship. Like it's not far off. I watched the Bobby Fett's and I watched the Mandalorians and these things. It's when you see it without any markers, lights, like nothing on it.
It's got a cool.
I mean, it's cool anyway, but
matte black look to it.
Yeah, gunmetal type of thing going on. These were geolocated, so we can tell where this took place. It was above the Polish town of Kozyniec. You see, my Polish is getting better.
Yeah.
I don't even know if that was right. I just tried to put like a little extra flavor on it so that maybe I nailed it. I mean, maybe not. Probably not. A public ADSB track of the KC-135 of the 100th ARW from the same day also matches that location, showing the F-35A was... So there's still like ways to pick it up, its activities. Obviously, it's still pumping out some type of signal for them to pick it up, but whatever. It's still much more stealthy than usual, which is cool. Now, speaking of planes, this is a real ugly look right here. That right there is the world's largest airplane, the Antonov AN-225, and it has been destroyed, obviously, in the conflict over there. And the airports have become a big
target,
sort of battleground and target, right, in and out.
Yeah.
You try to take control of the airports, communications, government facilities, things like this. Now, this plane is sort of like a pride of Ukraine. It's like a symbol of an achievement.
Okay.
And so this is especially, there's not many of these things. And so it's especially negative image. So Russia aired the video. And in Russia's version, I believe they said that Ukraine did the damage.
I was just going to say, why would they air it?
Russian state TV sought to blame Ukraine for its destruction, despite evidence to the contrary. You own the channel, Mo.
Yeah, I know.
Mo, if you own the channel...
You're right.
Video broadcast by Russian state TV showed the mangled wreckage of the Antonov. Footage of the ruined Ukrainian plane jet was shown Friday on Channel 1 and then shared on Western social media. The name of the plane means dream. And then actually the maker of the plane replied to some of the tweets being like, oh man, really? It's like 1 million parts in there. You know how long that took us to put together? And you guys just with a bomb, like for real? That's what we're doing?
It's huge too.
That's what we're doing now? All right, Mo, I want you to take a crack since you're amazing at this.
Okay.
And this is people's favorite part of the show. We're going to play Guess the Value. Because you were so...
I know.
No. Hey.
No, I messed up so bad last time.
Hey.
All right.
Don't be so hard on yourself, Mo.
Ooh. I don't know how much things cost.
Guess that price. How much for an Antonov? And you best not be scrolling too much there, Will.
Okay, I'm gonna guess it's gotta be more than a soccer team. So I'm gonna say it's in the.
That's not just any soccer team, Mo.
I know Chelsea. But
So you better, as well, you're offending people now.
right.
First of all, it's a club. Okay? Which is beyond a team.
Right. I'm gonna put my guess out there and say it's around $5 billion.
$5 billion! Woohoo!
All right. So where are we at?
It's not bad. It's actually not bad. Will wasn't going to go with you. He's
I thought that was
insane?
extremely high, but it's the biggest plane.
I mean, yeah. So I think.
Wait, hold on. Just
He doesn't even want to let people know the answer yet.
this plane
like it. It's
plane was in a hangar. No?
Yeah.
How did it get bombed? Like from up top?
Maybe a tank.
I mean, look at the roof on that thing. It's
like
kind of
that.
damaged itself, isn't it? There's a lot of problems
Kinda.
here. Yeah. I mean, it could be as simple as some forces standing behind it, like has an the
Opening from the back
to front,
Oh,
and
yeah.
then
like
a
tanks.
rocket targeting a vehicle on the other side, or a tank shell. So, I mean, there's a lot of bombing going on.
Okay, yeah. I was just curious.
Yeah. Anyway, I think the price is down here at the bottom somewhere. Let's reveal it for Mo. He said $5 billion, and the actual price is, ladies and gentlemen. Will's scrolling is not up to the standard we need here.
Drum roll.
$3 billion. There you go. I was gonna same with Chelsea.
Same with Chelsea. So it's either this.
$3 billion.
You get to have that or Chelsea. What's it going to be? Although some people have said now that that's overpriced for Chelsea, and they're thinking more like 2.5. And obviously, I don't know, but what a crazy scene this is, man! It's just like, oh my goodness gracious!
Yeah.
Just $3 billion gone like that, like one rocket. What's the rocket worth? A couple $100. Yeah, I mean, maybe it's more than one rocket to hit it. Look at that thing's like melted right down. You're not repairing it. But like one shell, what is one of those shells worth? And then you destroy $3 billion. God, the destruction. The destruction. And then it's so easy to, let me tell you something, Mo.
So easy to break something.
You got the building blocks. Young Mo, he's in the preschool. He's got the building blocks. He's out over there. It's intricate. It's beautiful. He's got like little towers to the side. He's got one big
And then
stack in the middle.
Lose missile comes in.
No. That's not bad. It kind of sounds like cruise missile, but no. Definitely not me. But somebody comes along, right?
Okay.
They're not a big Mo fan for whatever reason, because Mo's getting all the attention. Everybody's sitting there. They're like, these are beautiful buildings. All the girls and everything. They're like, preschool Mo. They're like, wow, you're a master at this.
Yeah, I'm an architect, right?
Dude looks across. He goes, who the hell does this guy think he is? Building all these things. He just walks over, kicks it over, right? It's all shattered on the ground. He smacks you right in the ear.
Oh, he smacks me too.
Yeah, he does.
Wow.
And then your thing is in shambles, and you're like, wow.
That was
took
$3 billion.
That took me 3 days to perfect, and in a matter of seconds, you destroyed that. You turned that into a wreckage, and it's hard to build things. It's easy to break them.
Matter of seconds.
NATO has rejected Ukraine's demand for no-fly zones. This is a much talked about topic. The bombing that's going on, Ukraine would love for the airspace above Ukraine to be declared a no-fly zone. But there's something that's a little bit misleading about that terminology. You can't just put a no-fly zone and be like, put up a sign. Oh, well, there you are.
Yeah, I could just imagine someone just trying to put up a sign and be like, no, you can't.
Hey, don't fly.
No fly.
No bombs.
Yeah.
No bombs. And it's like, yeah, get out of my way. Bombs don't care about signs, and planes don't care about no-fly zones. What they do care about is getting shot down. And that's what a no-fly zone means in this context. If NATO were to declare the airspace above Ukraine to be a no-fly zone, they would have to enforce that. And if they were to enforce that, then that would mean directly engaging with Russian forces and essentially kicking off combat between a whole host of other nations and Russia directly, direct combat and engagement. So they say there is no way we're going to do it. NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg told at a news conference, we are not part of this conflict, and we have a responsibility to ensure it does not escalate and spread beyond Ukraine. And now, obviously, it can do that anyway.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people are curious about when this NATO thing kicks in, but it kicks in if a NATO nation is attacked. That's when it kicks in. And speaking of that, there's a couple of stories here of other nations looking to be included in NATO. That's a cool article, by the way. But I'm sorry I screwed up your whole thing here. Go where you wanted to go. It's fine. We'll get there.
Okay, I thought it was just
You like this one in this. Will's always trying to craft. He's always trying to craft a
nice,
smooth.
I love it.
Yeah, lazy river. You know, when you go to the water park, you're in the lazy river and you're on one of those inflatable tubes.
yeah.
That is Will's objective when it comes to setting up the show. Making sure you just, you move, you cruise, lose missile. Russian shoppers swarm IKEA stores to stock up ahead of closures. Yes, IKEA is one of the latest ones to say that they are done in Russia. Actually, there's another one we're going to talk about on today's show. IKEA said this week it will close all of its 17 stores in Russia because of the conflict. Russian shoppers rushed to the stores to stock up on products. IKEA is among a number of major U.S. and European companies to have halted operations in Russia. IKEA just world famous. World famous. And Swedish company, actually. Shoppers flocked to these stores after they announced they're going down because of the conflict. Photos and videos that were shared on social media taken by local photographers showed long lines outside some of the 17 stores IKEA operates in Russia. What do you need immediately at IKEA, though, in a pinch? Like, they're going to close the stores. What am I rushing to get at IKEA that I need before you close? Like, is it a shelf?
That is a good question.
Is it a couch, a bed?
He has got everything.
No, I know
though.
they got everything. I'm just
blankets
curious
and-
what it is that you, or are they liquidating? Because they're like, these stores are closing, like whatever. Is it better prices?
Maybe just the fear that they may not come back. So they're trying to hoard everything
So
they
do you
can
think
from
that?
IKEA.
So do you think the average customer doesn't even have an item in mind? They're just like, I'm just going to
Maybe.
go. Wow.
And maybe you're right. Maybe it's like cheaper prices as well.
I don't know. I mean, with the ruble tumbling, I have a hard time believing that it would be
Like, what's in that car right there?
all that cheap for them
Pillows.
unless they adjust the prices. Okay, so pillows and blankets, maybe.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
what I
yeah,
see in
yeah.
there.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Well, they also don't know how long it's going to go on for. So.
Apple, Nike, H&M, Disney, Warner Bros., among other companies, limiting or ceasing services there. Oil companies, BP, Shell, both divested their stakes. Maersk, FedEx, UPS, DHL stopped delivering to the country. Yeah, it's a really long list at this point. Mercedes-Benz, they forgot to put in there.
Swedish meatballs in the chat.
Well, Swedish meatballs come along with IKEA, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna need some Swedish meatballs to go with my papaya drink that I'm gonna hunt down later.
Oh, right, yeah.
Now that you've brought this up, I'm traveling around looking for these things. All right, I'm kind of into maps a little bit, and I thought that since we're talking so much in the world right now about what's going on in Europe, and like I said, not just on this show, in my personal life, this is the topic of conversation in the world. You take it for what it is. Listen, one thing you need to know about this show right here, when I'm looking at my feed in the morning, I'm truly trying to get a grasp of what is going on in the world. And there's a number of tools that we use to figure that out. And however you feel about this Ukraine situation, this thing is having an enormous impact and an enormous amount of interest from people. And it seems to reach out and touch and affect such a variety of people, which is reflected in the data around this subject. So it's not that any other specific topic is being neglected intentionally. It's that this one right now is what has encompassed so many people's attention. And so that's what people need to hear about, think about, talk about. And I think part of it has to do with the potential for extremely dire consequences, which are fairly exclusive to countries that have nuclear capabilities. There's some sort of component. I remember when the news first broke, I was looking at hashtags on Twitter, and the nuclear conversation was there. And it's just, humans can't help this kind of, I don't know. I mean, fear obviously plays a role, but also just there's this age-old thing of us annihilating ourselves in some way. Right. That we would be dumb enough, angry enough, proud enough to figure out how to annihilate ourselves. It's like this age-old, and I think that this particular conflict has brought that back to the forefront, a conversation that hasn't existed in a very long time. So that's, anyway. But it is worth trying to understand a little bit more about how we got here with this specific situation. And I don't know how much people know about Russia, the USSR, Soviet Union, and sort of the post-World War II history around these regions, right? Because a lot of people are finding out, I mean, we're here in Canada, we're here, like, relatively new place in terms of the world historical scale. And some people here just, guys like you, Mo, you know, how old are you?
17.
Oh, he didn't want to say his real age. Interesting. But yeah, people didn't. It's like the first. Let's see. So, World War II, last big war. You know, you're finished with it. Late 40s over there. That means people alive from that period are you know, continuing on to 2000, right? You have your first generation of people, or a couple generations of people, without any exposure at all to conflict, meaning even potentially grandparents who may have been affected by it,
right,
are no longer there. It's sort of just the realness of it fades. It almost
times of peace.
You exactly. You see clips, and it's like, but it feels different. And I even run into a lot of people now, and they're like, can't believe this is happening in 2022. And you know what I wanted to say?
What's that?
I bet you people in 1939 said the same thing.
Yeah.
After World War I, it was just fresh. It had recently happened, and here you are, and the world is breaking into conflict again, and you're like, I can't believe this is 1939. We're sophisticated.
Yeah.
Or whichever war you want to pick, or conflict after, then it's never going to feel the right time for it. I'll tell you that. Now, I was of the opinion that the internet and social media was bringing people from different places closer together.
You hope.
More interconnectedness and things. But now you see the media landscape, and you see the media wars going on. And the fact that even the information people can extract from the internet is limited by whatever controls exist. Or if you don't want to go the Russia-China route and say, oh, you have government-operated media, then what about even here, where you have algorithms controlling what ends up in front of our eyes? Or what if you even go to the point of media concoctions, where you have some modified video game footage that, you know, you scroll past and it becomes truth for you, and then it gets debunked 5 seconds later. We're looking at a video clip, it's debunked while we're shooting.
While we're live.
It's a complicated landscape. It's not so simple. It's maybe not what people expected when he said, oh, everyone's going to be connected. Connected how? Truth is, what's true?
Very hard to tell these days.
Anyway, here we have some historical maps that will hopefully be interesting to people, as interesting to you as they were to me. There's one in particular I want to highlight, Will, which you can just scroll down here. Not this one. Not this one. This one. Scroll down a little bit further, actually. This one is the one. So this is the growth of Russian imperialism. Actually, you know what? You can click on the top one first. These are really nice, high-quality scans. And I want Will's going to appreciate, I just got to say, I want Will to appreciate the art style of mapping. Mapping used to be an art style, not an interface, like Google Maps or whatever. Not completely devoid of personality. Like, look at this map. The Russian bear sharpens its claws. It has a title on the map, like it's a story or something. Yet it's an actual
like folklore.
It's great. Look at this thing.
Look at the train.
I think at some point in my life, Will, I'm going to be collecting old maps. At some point, I'm going to have like, I don't even need the NFTs. I don't need the Banksy. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I'm just going to have some old maps. And I don't even need the originals. Who the originals would be.
That'd be nice. That's cool.
The originals would be really cool, but I don't think I need them. I think I can even have just high quality. You can
appreciate just this.
Yeah, I think because it's information. But anyway, so in you want to say something? Well, go ahead.
Well, yeah, I mean, like you said, it's like in pristine condition. This one in particular.
Oh,
there's no rips or blemishes.
Well, I was thinking probably what happened here, though, Will, is that inside of your scan software, it has a lot of automated tools for like denoise and getting rid of specs. And I presume whoever scanned this would need a large format scanner, and they're probably pretty good at what they're doing.
Yeah.
But anyway, this particular map here talks about the expansion of the Soviet Union, and it's using those like red areas as the claws, sharpens its claws as it continues to gather territory.
Yeah, to expand.
Yes, that it's still reaching in those regions, and almost like talking proudly about these. It's such a different time. Now everything's got to be covert and secretive, but talking about these gains in a celebratory way. And so you can go down to the next map now, which is a little bit more typical to what we have, a little less artistic. This was, I guess, it was in a, click on it to make it full screen because it's also a pretty cool scan.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Very high quality.
Very high quality scan as well. Now you can just fit it to the display. What is it? The Sunday News. This was August. Ooh, it's too small for me to see. August 27th, 1961. Okay, if you're looking for context here. Now, these particular maps are created in such a way where you have 3 different colors in the legend. The red is Russia after World War I.
Okay.
The orange is Russia after World War II. And the pink is communist-controlled regions today in 1961. Right? So they're the communist-controlled regions. What the sort of statement of whoever wrote this article, created these maps, is that Russian influence was happening in a massive way in 1961.
Right.
And so that's why you have regions like China, you have regions like North Korea that are in this pink color. And it helps you to recognize, 1961 is not that long ago, it helps you to recognize how some of these alliances still exist today in this difference going back to some type of influences that have been ongoing for a long period of time. Okay, so you see the regions in Asia, you see Vietnam shaded in that color, what they're calling communist control today as of 1961. But I want you guys to focus actually on the orange regions to the to the west of the Russian line World War I. And what you'll realize here is this is when you start to encroach a little bit into historical Western Europe. You're getting in there a little bit. So the orange region, let's say next to Poland, is actually a part of modern day Poland now. Yeah. Which was a part of an acquisition, post-World War II acquisition of Russia. Countries like
Romania?
Estonia. No, sorry, I'm talking about the ones that are orange right now.
Oh, so
above.
Estonia, Lithuania, Latvia, and then parts of Finland. And I'm going to get to Finland in a moment because Finland is sort of at the core of something that's going on right now.
Oh.
But parts of Finland as well. And a lot of people, when they're thinking of proximity, Finland is plays an important role of being actually another Russian border country. But you're right. Romania, Poland, these regions had given up some territory post-World War II, which then after the fall of the Soviet Union kind of went back to their old lines. Yeah. Including Ukraine, which now, if you see down there, a lot around the Black Sea, you can see Crimea represented there, and I need you to get your mouse over to the left there, Will, where you see the number 10 and 3. Yeah, right there, above the Black Sea. In the red section, red and orange down there, you're talking about Ukraine right there. And actually this communist control, if you'll see after World War II, goes all the way to Germany.
Yeah.
It goes all the way to East Germany. It goes all the way to the Berlin Wall. An actual physical representation of the two different approaches, of the two different political systems. So this is the stage for where we are today. Like what year, Will, I apologize here because you just searched something, but what year was Vladimir Putin born? 1952. Putin was 8-9 years old
Yeah, he was like
when that last map existed that way. All right, Mo? All right, Mo?
So he knows, he remembers.
Mo, are we on the same page now?
Yeah.
What are you laughing at, Will?
He's just shrinking down a little further.
Slowly.
No, he's just getting comfortable. He's getting comfortable. No. The people get worried about Mo. They're like, Lou, I think you're shouting at Mo. No. Listen. Mo loves every minute, right?
Yeah, I enjoy
the mapping and you're into it, right?
No, that's very cool. A lot of those like orange places, if Will can go back to it, they're like NATO now. Right?
So, keep going.
I can't imagine Russia likes that.
Go ahead, Mo.
No, that's my point. Is that like I'm just saying that it's very interesting. I'm looking at some of these countries over here in the orange, and I now know that a lot of them are NATO countries.
Will has something to say as well.
No, Mo is right. Like, there's a reason why, just based on historical data, like you can kind of see like where NATO's encroaching into different areas.
Making Russia feel a little
easy, Will. NATO encroaching. You're starting to sound like Channel 1.
No, I don't think
I'm RT.
No, but yeah. No, we're all in the same. Like, yes.
And Putin's kind of like has his back against the wall.
So the West has, the European Union, right?
Yeah.
The European Union in and of itself, this has strengthened these bonds in Europe, in the West, in the Western part of it. So, and then NATO's another piece and all the rest of it. But yeah, you can go to the next one. Okay, so this is an interesting one. We've been covering a lot of stories about how companies and products are leaving Russia, right? And one that would be really interesting to our audience here is Apple specifically. There's a lot of, obviously, people who follow Apple News on this channel. You might be surprised to know that a lot of these companies that are just so crazy important to us here really don't have quite the foothold in Russia that they have here.
Right.
And for whatever variety of reasons, marketing or other economic factors and so on and so forth, but Apple isn't really losing all that much by leaving Russia.
Right.
Russia represents around 2% of Apple's revenue, which you would think
2% of like trillions is a lot.
No, it's still a big number.
Yeah.
But when you look at the population of Russia, you might have a different thought.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Russia accounts for 2% of the world's economy. 0.9%. 2% of the world's economy, but 0.9% of Apple's revenues.
That makes a difference.
And so that means 99.1 of Apple's revenue.
Wow.
It accounts
Ex-Russia.
it accounts for why did I say ex-Russia? That's really weird.
Really weird.
Does that just mean outside of Russia?
Yeah, I think that's what it
it's a
means,
very bizarre graph. That's absolutely true. But it's $2.5 billion according to this report. That would be a huge number for a lot of companies, but for Apple, it's like for the headache. Apple's not down for a 0.9% headache.
No.
Then it's just not necessary, right? But Will, can you just do me a favor and give me a population of Russia real quick, if you don't mind? It's not it's 144 million people, and you would say, 0.9% is maybe a smaller number than you would expect given that.
Yeah.
But there's other factors, right? There's like Apple stuff is expensive, and they've struggled in a number of regions, and then maybe there's some sort of animosity or avoidance of like American goods or symbols of
different culture.
Probably not to that. Everybody wants. We had the company Caviar was sending us the fanciest. Check their site right now.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
They're always sending us the most elaborate Apple devices, luxury iPhones that have been kitted out in gold and whatever else. They don't have any kind of comment, I guess, about wait, we needed that. That's what we needed.
Oh, sorry.
Do we not get it back?
We're not going to get it back now.
I'll get it.
He's going to go incognito. He's like, I'll get it. I know how to go incognito.
I'm just so used to pop-ups and
know.
closing them immediately. So, yeah.
I'll get it. Royal smartphones and accessories. The restrictions... Okay, so this is a disclaimer from Caviar. The restrictions have not affected the usual work of Caviar. We continue to work at normal times, manufacture and ship our products around the world as usual. Also, you can always place a quick order with our partners around the world. A little encouragement to pick a partner instead. But anyway, I guess they're still going. I don't know how they're going to source these iPhones. I guess they'll be importing them now before they do their customization process.
Right.
But yeah, it appears to me that the iPhone is still a status symbol, even in Russia, just like everywhere else. And this, getting back to the information aspect of information warfare, this is indicative of the difference about your impression of what's going on in Ukraine, depending on what you choose to watch. Like whether or not you watch Channel 1 in Russia, whether or not you watch a broadcast in Kyiv, or whether or not you watch Lou later. These are three different universes in which you view what might be happening there. But here we have an interesting case of an individual living in Ukraine, actually in one of the hardest hit places, Kharkiv, and she can't convince her mother in Moscow that anything's going on.
Oh, her mother's in Russia.
Yes, her mother's in Moscow, and she messages and talks to her and says, this is my neighborhood. Everything's getting bombed. And her mother disputes. She says there's no way that Russia would ever target civilian areas. There's no way that...
Oh, so she's disputing who's doing it.
Well, because of the way that the operation is being presented
in Russia
as a special operation, very surgical, not messy, obviously, very messy at the moment.
Yeah.
When I first heard the explosions, I ran out of the house to get my dogs from their enclosures outside. People were panicking, abandoning their cars. I was scared. 25-year-old has been speaking regularly to her mother, who lives in Moscow, but in these conversations and even after sending videos from her heavily bombarded hometown, Alexandra is unable to convince her mother about the danger she's in. I didn't want to scare my parents, but I started telling them directly that civilians and children are dying. But even though they worry about me, they still say it probably happens only by accident and that the Russian army would never target civilians. That it's Ukrainians who are killing their own people. It's been positioned as a sort of like genocide in Russia, that there's been aggression towards certain groups inside of Ukraine, particularly groups who identify as Russian. That's what was happening on the east side. And that part of the conflict is obviously getting played up. And the part of the conflict of like apartment buildings being rockets going into apartment buildings, that would be downplayed, obviously, on the other side of representation. But I've been watching all kinds of clips. I'm amazed at what the people in Russia with the courage to get out on the street and talk to the public to protest or whatever because of the potential consequences of behaving in that way. Yeah, Alexandra says that people in Russia are being brainwashed by the content that they're seeing and the way it's being presented, which is obviously in a very sort of glorified fashion. She says that they're shelling nonstop. I've almost forgotten what silence sounds like. They're shelling nonstop, she said. Yeah, and look at the newsroom in Russia. That's Russia Channel 1. Look at that.
Looks like our old set.
Yeah, they're like it almost looks like they're reporting on a sporting event.
Yeah.
But I guess CNN does this similar stuff.
That's true,
It's very weird, the kind of
It's crazy how much power media holds over like the way we think about things. Because I think the mother doesn't obviously have any ill wishes on her
daughter.
that
right.
she's lying to her.
Right.
She's like, you just don't get it. You don't get the full picture. But
Yeah, and it's like one of these things where there's a cloud created by conflict.
yeah,
Right? It obscures things. Oh, my favorite documentary, Fog of War. There's a fog where there's a transmission of information on one side, conflict in the middle, and then the reception on the other side.
yeah,
And you just can't see through it. It becomes so hard because all the rules have changed for communication. And there's so much stuff that's undocumented, right? Like, think about in a typical situation where there's not warfare. All the checks and balances systems, law enforcement, behaviors around, like, let me ask you this. Can you get a speeding ticket in Kyiv right now?
I doubt that.
Yeah, I highly doubt it, Mo.
That's what they're worried about.
I highly doubt it. And so all of a sudden the institutions fall apart because now there's a question about who's in control. And so when those things start to fall apart, so does record keeping. So does truth. So does the public's confidence in whatever's being told to them or whatever information is available to them, I should say, because it's not even an option for some people to really seek out alternative viewpoint. But I saw somebody in the street was interviewing regular Russian people and saying, hey, I want to show you some pictures about what's actually going on in Ukraine. And people would refuse to look at the pictures and say they're fake. I'm not going to look at that. That's not what's going on. Putin would never do that. And the person's just walking around with pictures from Kyiv. So you can imagine if it's that much of a turnoff, how that imagery must be completely off of Russian television. Now, maybe there's a way of putting it and framing it, but you start to realize packaging and framing can completely shift perceptions, even around the same imagery. Just the way you title it or the way you say it, like, oh, you may have seen that plane blown up. Pretty sure the Ukrainians did it. Or on the other side, look at the bombardment. Look at who's being targeted or whatever. It's all finesse being applied and creates a really strange environment, even within a family, even within a mother-daughter situation where you would say, well, maybe not there.
Yeah.
Maybe it wouldn't reach in there. Oh, no, it'll reach in there.
The divide is...
It'll reach in there.
Yep.
Okay, so now we're on to my part. We looked at the maps from earlier, and I told you to take a look at Finland. And Sweden is obviously next to Finland because we talked about Swedish meatballs in IKEA, if you recall. But Finland, Sweden, similar places. Well, they might not want to be... They're distinct places.
Right, yeah.
But similar in the sense of neutrality when it comes to NATO. And this has been a position, this has been a stance that's existed for a while. Probably Putin's a fan of the idea that they're resistant to joining NATO, except there's been renewed interest in the idea given recent events. And this is one of those circumstances where you go into Ukraine in hopes of squashing any NATO advancement, and you might very well encourage other regions to fast track. And I don't know what you're prepared for, but let's say Sweden and Finland are like, and this is not what's happening yet, but let's say they're like, yeah, we're ready to go NATO. Isn't that the exact same
Opposite
thing
of what you wanted?
Isn't that the exact same thing as Ukraine? Don't you have to bomb them now too?
Yep.
Especially Finland, which you share a border with. Finland, which has become a popular destination for Russians leaving St. Petersburg. Proximity here and geography really matters. And so when I'm showing you the maps, that's why I'm showing you the maps.
Yeah, the closeness.
Like a lot of people, you would think, okay, Finland, I don't know. Where's Moscow? I don't know. Finland's way up there. It's not the same. No, man, proximity. It's very close over here in Europe. And historically, Finland and Sweden haven't really been a problem for Russia. In fact, you can see the territory claimed here post-World War II. because of that neutrality. And now I want to make sure I get this right because historians are going to be real serious about this. But as far as neutrality goes in World War II, let's just put it this way so that I don't have to bring up the whole Wikipedia and get to the bottom of who did what. Just when it comes to joining NATO right now, they've been neutral on that front.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I am sure that people were involved in some way in World War II from those nations. And I don't want to offend anybody there. So we'll look into it at a later date. I'll get back to you on that. But the main thing here is NATO.
Yeah.
That's what matters right now. And neither of those nations are in NATO. So when I'm saying neutral, I am referring specifically to NATO, not any previous conflicts. A majority of Swedes are now in favor of joining NATO, a poll showed on Friday. A Russian invasion of Ukraine spurred rapid shift in attitudes in a country long known for neutrality. Sweden has not been in a war since 1814. Okay, there you got your Sweden.
Yeah, staying pretty neutral.
You got your Sweden, Mo. 1814, and well, with the IKEA and the meatballs and everything else. No, I mean you got Volvo. You got hockey as well. Amazing, amazing hockey in Sweden. So you got my vote. Like, they got really cool hockey jerseys on the international scene as well. You got Peter Forsberg. You don't know anything. Name a Swedish hockey player, Will.
I wouldn't know.
Mo?
No.
You guys are rude.
I know. I need to learn more about the Swedish hockey team.
Name a Canadian hockey player, Mo.
I still can't help you there.
Yeah, you're lying. You can't name a Canadian hockey player of all time ever that existed.
Wayne Gretzky?
Okay, there you go. Don't you dare say Wayne Gretzky like that. What, Willie Gretzky?
No, I said it like, maybe he's not going to let accept this answer because it's such an easy one.
All right, well, Canadian hockey player, go ahead. Not Wayne Gretzky.
Felix Potvin.
Wow.
The goalie. I remember he had a really cool mask.
Were you a fan back in those days?
Yeah.
That's our childhood. We were like 7, 8 years old or whatever when that was going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're talking about Doug Gilmour, Wendell Clark. I remember those teams.
Sure.
A poll by Demiscope and commissioned by Aftonbladet newspaper, Aftonbladet, showed 51% of Swedes are now in favor of NATO, up from 42% in January. People against joining NATO fell to 27% from 37%, and it's the first time such a poll has shown a majority in favor. A majority in favor of no longer neutral in relationship to NATO. However, Sweden's defense minister Peter Hultqvist said joining NATO was not an easy decision, nor one that could be rushed based on recent events alone. To change the defense doctrine, this is a huge decision, so you don't do it overnight. And you cannot do it because of opinion polls. In other words, you got to do it the government way, votes and such. Sweden and Finland already have a very close cooperation with NATO and have been invited to recent summits. NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg said in January the two countries could join the alliance very quickly if they decided to apply for membership. This begs
fast tracking.
Well, this begs the question, because obviously that's what Ukraine wants. Was this just a timing issue? Or, like, why does Finland get the fast track on the border? And you can, obviously the histories are a little bit different. Finland gets the fast track? For real? I don't know. I'm just putting it out there.
Wait, Ukraine asked and they said no?
Well, they're asking right now. Is it because conflict already exists there? So, like, if the
I think history plays a part too.
So if the application goes in, but the Russian bomb hits Helsinki, whoa, we don't want to incite anything.
Yeah.
It's very bizarre, this whole thing.
Yeah, it is very weird.
We don't want to be directly in conflict, but they're not in NATO yet. It's only an application. Oh, you're right. We're not going to fight back. And then Finland's like, yeah, but we got that. You said you were going to fast track.
No, that's not what it says in the contract. You didn't sign it.
You said you're going to fast track me. Oh, man. The Finnish Institute of International Affairs described Russia's attack on Ukraine as a wake-up call and Europe's 9/11. Yes, and also Sweden has kind of taken steps in this direction already by sending weapons to Ukraine. Now, Sweden, I feel like it's a little easier because it's not sharing a border currently with Russia. Finland's a little more interesting. It's just a little tighter over there. So,
All right.
oh, here's the other one that I was going to get to. We were talking about the companies that have pulled out of Russia. The latest is Microsoft suspending all new product sales in Russia, which includes Xbox.
Hitting the gaming community.
Hitting the gaming community. No community left alone. Not the IKEA community, not the gamers, not the iPhone lovers. Oil and gas, shipping. Yeah, you heard it all. Microsoft is the latest tech giant to announce it's no longer selling to Russia, joining Apple in suspending all new sales to the country in the wake of its invasion. Here's the blog post. Like the rest of the world, we are horrified, angered, and saddened by the images and news coming from the war in Ukraine and condemn this unjustified, unprovoked, and unlawful invasion by Russia. Ooh, they're not mincing words. We are announcing today that we will suspend all new sales of Microsoft products and services in Russia. We believe we are most effective in aiding Ukraine when we take concrete steps in coordination with the decisions being made by these governments, and we will take additional steps as the situation continues to evolve. Wow. So in their case, they're like, just a big no-no. I guess their services, existing subscriptions, online services and things will remain intact for now. I guess those customers don't have to worry. They get on their Halo or whatever they're doing, But as far as getting a new Xbox, as far as getting a...
So no hardware.
Imagine the kid who had it on the the list for his birthday or whatever.
Oh.
He's been saving up.
Or what's
That's
even
tough.
worse is that it's coming from DHL, like shipping or something.
My.
And it's just stuck there.
Really do.
You believe this guy?
Bringing back clips.
You believe that
from
guy?
previous
That's
shows.
trauma right there.
You believe that guy sitting over there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man,
I don't even believe myself.
even Mo had to hit him with a willy, dude. Even you had to do it. You couldn't leave that alone. Earlier this week, Ukrainian Vice Prime Minister called on Xbox and PlayStation brands to stop doing business with Russia. Earlier today, it became clear that PlayStation was not releasing Gran Turismo 7 in Russia on launch day. But they have so far issued no public statement, so Sony hasn't done the official thing. EA has taken Russia out of FIFA and NHL. Just take the countries out of the games.
Whoa.
Man. Yeah, it's not done yet. It's not done yet. Yeah, there's more to it. Elon Musk warns that Starlink system could be targeted in Ukraine, advises users to camouflage the antenna and to place the device far away from people. Okay, this story. Communications has been a target over there, obviously.
Yeah, it makes sense.
It makes sense. You're trying to control people's ability to get information, share information in order to dominate, attempt to dominate. Elon got involved and said, hey, I'll just get you some Starlink stuff. Well, actually, he was asked by Fedorov, the technology guy in Ukraine, Mikhailo, Vice Prime Minister of Ukraine and Minister of Digital Transformation. He sent a tweet, and then Elon replied saying Starlink service now active for Ukraine, and the terminals are en route. He even shared photos of these terminals all wrapped up. However, upon further thinking, he was like, wait, if Starlink becomes one of the only communication methods left over after these towers get hit, then whoever ends up with this equipment could become a target themselves, or the equipment itself could become a target. And so you got to place these dishes outdoors for this satellite internet. You can see what the dish looks like there on the right. Many thanks. Starlink keeps our cities connected and emergency services saving lives. With Russian attacks on our infrastructure, we need generators to keep Starlinks and life-saving services online. Ideas, and then he talks to Honda, Champion Generators, Westinghouse, and Duramax Power. He's tagging. This guy's working, man.
Like, he's reaching out to
it's really interesting how part of the war, the work is with a gun in your hand, and then part of it is on Twitter.
Right. Nowadays,
and this guy, well, I mean, administrative or communication based or whatever. And so he's been, it appears to be quite effective at getting the resources that they need. It's an amazing picture to see him share the Starlink satellite deployed. But Will's obsessed with something else right now. He just
Well, they
can't-
called it.
he just can't leave
a
this
site
tweet alone.
A site called Putler.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's Hitler and Putin together.
Yeah, people are really into that comparison, no doubt. But yeah, anyway, so he's saying if anybody has this equipment, including government, try to hide it however best you can, so it's not immediately obvious that you're using that.
Yeah, this is like
We're transitioning now. This website lets you spend Elon Musk's fortune to see how ridiculous it is. You can get thousands of yachts, a Mona Lisa, islands, and even tanks, and have a receipt at the end. How much is enough?
This is just a fun little site. He has 217 billion US dollars.
He's worth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a list of things that he could buy, like the PlayStations and the Xboxes, the phones.
So ridiculous. Fast food franchise. I thought I was going to actually buy some pizza or a burger. You're buying the franchise.
Yeah, Spotify for 80 years, which is $9,600.
Interesting.
Netflix subscriptions, and then you get into like more ridiculous stuff. You have supercars,
Forward.
diamond rings, private islands,
The
pieces
Mona
of art.
Lisa.
The Mona Lisa is like
$1 billion.
900 billion.
I don't even think you could buy that if you wanted, right?
No,
Even if you
I think
I don't
that's
think it's
sticking
for
at the
sale,
Yeah.
yeah.
10 plastic surgeries.
yeah. 1 week in every country of the planet, which is $1 million.
God, that would take you a while.
NBA teams, NFL teams,
Whoa.
which is the most expensive out of the whole thing. It's to own an NFL team is $3 billion.
Yeah, it was like Chelsea.
Yeah.
Like we were talking about the other day. It's a lot of money and a lot of work. You got to be really involved.
Yeah.
That tank is $8 million. Produce
Just
a
a
Hollywood movie. Yeah,
a random
yeah.
tank.
M1 Abrams.
Yeah. So you can, live his life vicariously and
What's
start buying stuff.
funny is that he doesn't even really buy a lot of this stuff, from what I can tell. He's definitely had a few properties that are pretty nice over the years.
He's also not going to buy a different car.
And yeah. It's definitely going to be. Actually, I think he does have an older Jaguar.
Oh,
okay.
really?
Yeah, he was talking about on Rogan's podcast. He keeps it around. It might have been a gift, and he likes to have one like classic combustion
Well, that's kind of cool, yeah.
car around. Not really competitive with his products at this point in time. Classic car. Spend Elon Musk's fortune. See, you don't need the fortune. You just need to pretend. Get whatever you want. It'll be fine. Rivian reverses price hike for R1T and R1S pre-orders following backlash. So we talked about this yesterday, how people were complaining. Rivian just came out of nowhere and they were like, yeah, we're going to have to raise the prices on both of our vehicles. More so actually on the SUV than the truck. They're like, yeah, we have to raise the prices, and it doesn't really matter if you had a pre-order already at a previous price. You're going to have to pay this new one. We're going to need that extra cash. And people freaked out. We had highlighted a few people on Twitter that had said, well, you know what? Screw off. You broke my trust. I'm going to cancel my order. Well, it seems that has had an impact. I saw John Rettinger tweeting about it. He said he thinks like 50% of people canceled their order or something because they very quickly did a turnaround and said, oh, yeah, that's our mistake. We're not actually going to charge you more. You already had a pre-order. Are you crazy? We're going to honor the original price. Let's get those orders going for you. Let's just pick up where we left off. And then those people are like, well, why do we have to do all that in the first place? Why do we have to? Company chief R.J. Scarin said the higher prices broke the trust of customers and that the automaker didn't properly communicate the reasons for the hikes, While the new prices were meant to reflect higher manufacturing costs, hence maintaining prices for new buyers, Rivian wrongly applied those increases to existing customers, according to Scaringe. It also incorrectly presumed customers wouldn't mind buying the lower-end dual motor and standard battery models if the quad motor option was suddenly too expensive. You know what's weird about this is it's like, we all know the truth. The truth is you thought you could get away with it, which is fine.
Yeah.
Which is fine. It's a business move.
Well,
It's
not fine, but
No, it's fine, Mo.
I don't think it's fine.
It's absolutely fine.
I think if I made an agreement with you...
You misunderstand. Yeah. You misunderstand me. What I mean by it's fine is if that's your tactic and you think your fans love your thing enough.
Oh, yes. If it works for you, then it works for you.
Yeah, then if there's a scarcity aspect or something, like you gave it a shot. Mm-hmm. You had your costs went up and you were like, hey, maybe we can just pass it on to the customer. It's like, all right, business, trial and error. You took a crack. You failed. Mm-hmm. It didn't work. It hurt too much. Bezos picked up the phone. He's like, what are you guys doing over there? I got all these tweets now. What am I invested in here? You're turning up if it doesn't become an issue, if everybody doesn't cancel and goes for it, we're living in a different world right now.
Absolutely.
An alternate reality.
Yeah.
But that's not what happened. But then you get these statements that are like, we were really surprised that people wouldn't just downgrade to the other model for the same price. It's like, no, you weren't. You imagined, you probably did a cost benefit analysis. You knew everything. So I'm just saying, like, it'd be cool if they just came out and said, look, we thought most people wouldn't mind. You guys really minded.
Minded, yeah.
We're backtracking. Mm-hmm. We care that you mind because ultimately you're our customers and it's your vote that counts. And you guys just voted that you do not want to do this thing. And we are idiots for thinking that we could do this thing.
Just being real.
Well, I don't know, man. It's just like, it's for sure those calculations took place. For sure they discussed the possibility that people were going to be pissed.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
They just probably assumed it would be a much smaller number.
Smaller noise, whatever it might be. But I don't know. What am I talking about? There's too many lawyers.
There's also, I can't imagine Rivian's going to be a profitable company for a long time.
Oh, God, yeah. Right? Yeah. So. The price angered more than a few customers. Quad motor buyers face prices between $12,000 to $20,000 above what they'd expected. Some accused Rivian of bait and switch tactics, while others threatened to cancel orders in response. Tesla, a key competitor, has historically honored pre-order prices. No, I mean, it's obviously...
That's the better choice.
No, obviously we know which is more likely to be the better move, right? We know that. But what I'm trying to say is if you had better transparency with the companies that you interact with and the companies themselves had better transparency, it could just say, yeah, screwed up. We screwed up. Yeah. We did it. We misread the room.
But it's always money that really irks customers.
Right.
Like the money change. If it's like a feature that gets dropped, it's not too bad. But if it's like a direct
on the feature.
money.
I hear you, man. I hear you. And an example of this is the dealer markup, which we talked about.
Yeah.
The dealer markup drives people nuts.
It's crazy.
But at the same time, it's like, let's say you really want a PlayStation and they're all sold out.
I mean, you have a chance
you
to
pay extra. And so many people did that. Who are those people?
Right.
Right? Those people exist too. And supply and demand.
The new value of the product.
Supply and demand kicks in. And it's like, do you want to tell those people that they're not allowed? What about graphics cards? And someone really wants one, but they're marked up. It's like, are you telling a person they're evil for paying extra? I mean, you're telling the dealer they're evil for selling it for extra.
Yeah, the dealer, not the production company.
It's interesting how we place the blame here.
Yeah.
But then you start thinking about supply and demand in general. And like, if there are ever moments where supply is intentionally restricted in order to increase demand, like these are all tools, they're all levers within businesses. Like, what about when companies do drops? Right? They go, oh, this thing's going to be available for, like, get it before it's gone.
Right.
And then it's there forever.
Whoa.
What are you looking at right now, Rivian?
25 in past 5 days.
Yeah, it's
I
down.
guess this is the dip here,
Yeah, that must be it.
or maybe over
And
here.
it
Yeah.
seems like the new news
Yeah.
hasn't.
Well, that right there is when Bezos picked up the phone.
Right.
But what I think on a bigger picture, what I'm trying to say is all these companies want your money. They all have a variety of tactics for getting it out of you. Elon will sell you like a $50 whistle
Yeah.
or tequila or something, and everyone's like, it's a little bit of fun. And it's like, well, that's your perception. You could also say it's predatory. You could also say it's worthless. You could also, it all depends on where you line up and how much enjoyment you get out of it. And there's going to be people, I'll tell you this right now, even though Rivian did the right thing here and honored the original pre-order prices, guess what's going to happen when these products ship? Some of those buyers that got it at the earlier price are going to put it on Auto Trader for $20,000 more, and that's really what they were in it for.
And now they can easily because that's what Rivian's new price is.
That's what Rivian's new price is. All those people just got $20,000 in their pocket.
Yeah. Well, more so.
More because they're going to be so limited.
Yeah.
And don't tell me that none of them are going to do it. Some of them will.
Oh, absolutely.
Do you think Rivian knows? They know,
Of course they know.
but they can't say it.
No, you can't call your customers resellers. But like, think about the sneaker business. Think about
Of course.
anything that is limited. Anything that you don't have enough of. NFTs. Ford launches its bi-directional home charging station at a surprisingly good price.
What do you think the price is?
Yeah, this is your story. I don't know. I am gonna say. So does that gives me the charger on the wall there?
That's it.
I'm gonna say $800.
Well, it's a little over $1,000.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
I think
pretty
it's
close.
like 1,300
$1,300. That's fine.
US.
It's close
Which is
enough.
good. Yeah,
How much is like a Tesla?
it's affordable.
I have nothing to compare this to.
Think of Tesla 500.
Well, but Tesla doesn't
300?
have reverse charging, so I should
doesn't,
have
no.
taken that into consideration. This is a more. Oh, okay. Tesla's wall connector is $550. Ford Charge Station Pro is not your average wall charger. First, it's rated at 80 amps, twice the capacity of the average charger, and it enables Ford's intelligent power backup power bi-directional charging capacity.
So what they're trying to say is that it can power your home.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you charge the F-150 Lightning, and then it reverse charges, and then it powers the home.
Bi-directional. I mean, this is so. I have to be honest with you, Will. I hang out with, because with the sports and being in the community and such, a lot of people carrying a bunch of gear tend to have trucks. And this particular feature, because I did the video on it, and so a lot of people saw it and started asking me, this particular feature has more people have mentioned to me maybe than any other feature. People love this feature. No more power outages ever. Like and I know
It's such an interesting
Like for a
feature
house
because
specifically. I'm sorry, go on.
how frequently are you going to use it?
it's one of those things where, like, same with a generator, right? It's not having it and using it, it's knowing, like
you have
having
it.
insurance,
Yeah.
right? That, hey man, in a storm or in a really terrible situation, I'm gonna have a little bit more power to sort my stuff out,
It's
whatever.
a bonus.
Now, granted, here we don't have quite the stormy weather that they have in other places either. If you get down into hurricane country, this can be a common occurrence, this power outages, in which case then the value of this thing goes up even more.
Okay, I never thought of it like that.
So I think there's gonna be a lot of these things out there when that lightning goes out. Very exciting.
It's kind of nice knowing that your car is like a battery in that sense too, where you can plug in anything.
It has
you want.
more uses than getting you from A to B.
Oh yeah. More utility. And trucks are always about utility. Disney Plus ad-supported subscription plans announced. How about that? Cheaper Disney Plus. What do you say, guys? Would you pay less for Disney Plus and then have some ads?
No.
You don't want to save a few bucks?
No. Amazon Prime has that. Prime Video. And I hate it.
Yeah.
Their own
Not a
shows.
fan of it.
So wait a sec, can't you pay your way out of that too? Or no?
Not that I know of. Maybe in the chat they can tell. But
Disney Plus is rolling out an advertisement-supported tier for their service. A lot of observers theorize that this could happen on the streaming platform. Disney Plus ad tier could end up being a lower cost as well in late 2022. International markets can look forward to this extension, this service in 2023. Okay. Expanding access to Disney Plus is to a broader audience at a lower price point is a win for everyone, consumers, advertisers, and our storytellers. More consumers will be able to access our amazing content, and advertisers will be able to reach wider audiences. Since its launch, advertisers have been clamoring for the opportunity to be a part of Disney Plus. I gotta believe there is a customer out there. They want to watch that new big show, and they just don't have the option to pay the full subscription. I mean, I gotta believe that person exists.
Oh, absolutely.
And the question is the threshold, right? So you guys said no, I don't want to do it.
But someone
out
there
but I'm
exists
curious.
that
I feel like there probably is a particular cost at which point you would do it.
Right.
Oh,
Cost
right.
matters.
Like if it was Disney Plus free, but just with ads, then would you pay for the subscription if it was just for no ads? And then, what if the subscription instead of $15 was $25 versus ads, or $50 versus ads? Like there's some point where you'd be like, I guess I'm taking ads. They got to find out the right ratio there.
Yeah.
Does it say anything about what the price will be? Or they're just saying we're doing it? Yeah, they don't say what the price, what the new cheaper price would be.
They might have to do focus groups first. And just kind of test out.
Right.
A/B testing, all that stuff.
Yeah, figure out what people are willing to pay for an ad version of Disney Plus.
And then they have a new stream of revenue as well.
Oh, yeah, big time. I actually like these business models where it's different options for different customers. I'm a fan of that. I like how YouTube has done it with premium. Like this show right here, there's a lot of premium subscribers that watch this. That they subscribe to YouTube Premium, and that helps us significantly, right? They don't need to watch an ad in order for us to get revenue from them watching. It really shifts things. A little bit in how we interact with each other. So if you buy a YouTube Premium subscription, all ads are gone on YouTube, and then you watch our show, and there's just a revenue split of your subscription fee. It's much more direct.
Yeah.
So, and hey, and if you can't do that, or you don't want to do that, then you just you have pre-rolls and whatever. And so I'm on the option side. Even for Disney Plus, even for Netflix, even for Amazon, even for whoever.
I think Netflix actually increased their price.
No, Netflix is up there now. These prices are getting up there now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Sony and Honda plan to make electric vehicles together. Well, I remember the Sony car from CES.
Yeah.
And I was curious about it, obviously. Big Sony. Had a lot of Sony products over the years, and I
like Sony.
I've always been intrigued by Sony, specifically. With the Walkman and such, dating back.
Very Tesla-esque.
The design of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a little Tesla. It's a little Taycan. It's a little Lucid. It's
It's taken a little bit from everywhere.
It's an electric car.
Yeah.
End of the day. I remember seeing a video of this thing driving around. I believe it was in Japan. You would have to assume there'd be a big entertainment focus in a Sony vehicle. That's a picture of the concept here. Vision S02 concept. This is an electric crossover version of it. Now, if you're Sony and you've never made a vehicle before, it's going to make a lot of sense to team up with somebody who has.
Yeah.
You control the software entertainment side of it, multimedia side of it.
In fact, I read somewhere that they already do that a lot. They provide a lot of
for sure.
Interface software.
Oh yeah. No doubt. Sony and Honda are planning to form a new company to design and sell electric vehicles together. The venture hasn't been finalized just yet, but the two companies have signed a memorandum of understanding that states their intent. The as yet unnamed new company is expected to be formed this year, with sales of the first EV model planned for 2025. Honda will manufacture the first model, with the new company handling the vehicle's design, development, and sales, and Sony is set to develop a mobility service platform. Mobility services on the go. Yeah, why'd you highlight Sony and Honda?
Every time I think of like two companies like kind of joining forces, I always try to find like a matching word for those companies.
Sonda.
Oh, you mean how people
Hondi,
do with the celebrities?
Yeah.
Or
like
just or
Kanye.
Honey. You could do Honey.
Yeah.
I guess.
I always find it
Hondi.
funny.
I like how you're continuing with this.
Shonda. Sony's purpose is to fill the world with emotion through the power of creativity and technology. Through this alliance with Honda, which has accumulated extensive global experience and achievements in the automobile industry over many years and continues to make revolutionary advancements in this field, we intend to build our new vision to make the mobility space an emotional one and contribute to the evolution of mobility centered around safety, entertainment, and adaptability. Well, eventually, when all these things are driving themselves, entertainment becomes the key factor. And Sony has quite an interest in entertainment with its
PS5
PlayStation
gaming stuff. Yeah.
Imagine a PlayStation in your EV.
Yeah, of course. So they got and like not an actual unit. It's just built in, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can obviously imagine. So I don't mind the white one on the right over there. It's not bad. You know?
Will, what do you think about the tires on the bigger one?
You mean the wheels?
Yeah.
I think it fits. It fits this style.
Did you want to give us an update? You have any updates, Will? Since Mo's asking you, yeah, go give us some. What's your update?
Just watching more videos. More specifically, the antenna.
You're still on the antenna? No.
Yeah.
Still on the antenna?
Yeah.
How much time can you spend on the antenna?
Well, there's different levels, like of height.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
like
there's some weird ones. There's like the stubby ones, but like it's a bullet.
Yeah.
It's like
yeah. You like that?
No.
Oh.
I think
what's the right height?
I wouldn't want one.
Yeah.
Like just like a little nub and then
just delete.
Just close it off.
Delete the antenna.
Yeah.
That's interesting because what if you need because you got this like rugged utility vehicle. I guess you can keep the antenna just like in the car in a compartment somewhere for if all other communications are down and we have to revert to radio.
Yeah.
You're ready to go. Interesting. Girlfriend seeks advice after Elden Ring steals her boyfriend. A concerned girlfriend has taken to Reddit to express her disappointment that a new video game stole her boyfriend. I didn't know video games were capable of this.
Is this my story or yours?
This game is massive. I believe it's mine.
Is it yours? Okay.
Yeah, why? You like it?
I thought of putting it in here.
Oh, okay.
But just didn't.
Because are you in Elden Ring or no? Or is it Kirk who's in Elden Ring?
He is for sure.
He's doing it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, it would have been better if we had him here. But this is the hottest game right now, is it not?
It is, yeah.
Yeah, so it's a lot of people that are into this stuff. And I guess it's very addictive. It's a huge open world filled with secrets, bosses, and treasures. And it can be very hard to put the game down. Is that why you're avoiding it, Will? Because you're worried about not putting it down.
Oh, no.
All right, so here is from the girlfriend. She posted this in relationship advice. She complained her boyfriend spent the vast majority of their first night together in ages playing a new video game he just picked up. She later confirmed the game was Elden Ring after several users asked. He picked up a new game while we were out and started playing as soon as we got back to his place. I let him play for about 2 hours, but I started getting affectionate after a bit since the date was really nice and I was enjoying being with him at night for the first time in a while. She continued. He was really engrossed in the game and didn't ask me what was wrong until around 3 hours in. Oh, man. This gets graphic.
Really?
Yeah. She wanted nookie.
He stayed up playing until at least 2 a.m., at which point I fell asleep without even cuddling. I'm not sure if he ever came to bed. He usually wakes up before me. The next day, she tried to tell him that he hurt her feelings. His response was to tell her she shouldn't be upset because it's a new game.
This will pass.
That's rough.
Should I adjust my expectations? It's a new game because it's a new game. I don't know, man. People gaming, I don't know what to tell you. It's really fills a void for some people.
But also when you start playing, it's so hard to
stop.
And
it's engrossing.
Yeah. It's just like it's like when you're playing the game and your mom's like, come down for dinner. And you're like, you don't understand.
Maybe at one time in my life, but I just haven't been that engrossed in anything. Would this happen to me? Really?
Well, maybe not gaming, but other stuff. Like building something. Imagine being so concentrated on building this particular thing.
Okay.
Or like a thumbnail or, whatever.
I'm not sure that it would be that attractive to me, but like I feel like I can put it down.
Yeah. See, this is why I feel like it's dangerous for a lot of these people and especially me, getting into a game like this because it kind of is never ending.
It just becomes your like default place to be.
There's always like little nuances of upgrading and the next enemy or something. Yeah. It's the next. You're hunting that down. But,
so
I get it.
You will never play this game.
I'll try it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Just gotta be a little careful.
Okay. All right. Well, Willie Dude, he just put out his Elden Ring warning, and that's the other one.
Gundam Wing?
Elden Wing is the jet fighter game.
So what happened here?
What? It's a real problem. He has no empathy. No, people just responded to her.
Oh, is there a resolution?
I don't think so.
Oh.
No, not yet. I mean, I'm sure it's a new game, Will. That's all. That's the only problem. It's just a new game, all right?
All right.
This is a weird one. An out-of-control rocket is going to crash into the moon.
Oh, is this a China story?
Well, China is a part of it. So is SpaceX.
Okay.
Do you have a double up here? You also have this one? It's interesting. Yeah. They didn't know. They had been tracking this piece of debris, which is part of a rocket. And at first, they thought that it may have been from a SpaceX launch. And it had been kind of barreling towards the moon. And then people were trying to sort of figure out its position and then how long it would have had to take to travel to get to that position in order for it to align with a particular launch event. And then they started to doubt that it was actually that it was actually to do with SpaceX. So a rocket stage is going to slam into the moon on Friday amid a dispute about which country launched it and the complexity of tracing human-made objects in space. Talk about space junk, Will. You're supposed to get these things back. They're supposed to like come back, burn up in the atmosphere,
Just floating around.
Not sit up there and float around, I guess ideally.
Collide.
Space is pretty big, but never underestimate our ability to create junk. Don't ever assume that space will.
Don't pollute space.
That's right. All right. That's. So originally they thought that it was part of a SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket, or a Chinese rocket, or maybe some other vehicle. The discussions have framed the difficulty of looking for small objects near the moon's orbit, which has larger implications for tracking missions and debris. But anyway, they started based on some of their findings. You can scroll down just a little bit more. A few months ago, astronomer Bill Gray, who runs the Pluto project, originally identified the rogue object as the upper stage of the SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket that launched the Deep Space Climate Observatory. Deeper analysis revealed that Falcon 9 is not the likely culprit. The orbit does not match that of Discover Falcon 9. So he corrected his initial work, and now he thinks it's the upper stage of the rocket launched China's just reading it there, 5T1 mission in 2014. What? No. Helpers with Gray's reanalysis who supported the new... Oh, so it's been floating out there for a while?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. An old piece of rocket from 2014 hitting the moon.
Wow.
Yeah. I guess as we continue to goof around up there, there would be an increasing likelihood of that happening. Mm-hmm. All right, let's lighten the mood here a little bit. You remember yesterday? You're already doing it. You're already smiling and laughing. Don't you remember what you were?
Well, lightening the mood.
Don't you remember? Well, why?
Someone got injured.
Remember what you were talking about yesterday?
What's that?
We were talking about the guys who stole the tank, and you were saying how laughing at somebody else's misfortune.
Oh, Schadenfreude?
Yeah, but I realized it has to be, the person can't be really impacted. Like they
Right.
can't.
They
Like,
need to be okay.
yeah, the reason it's funny is because they're okay.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if that word, and maybe you should look it up so we can be clear. I don't think it encompasses something actually negative happening to the pleasure derived from by another person's misfortune. Okay, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it can be any misfortune.
Well, I saw this.
Wait,
clip.
go back. Hold on. Go back to that where you just were for a second, please. The experience of pleasure, joy, or self-satisfaction that comes from learning or witnessing the troubles, failures, or humiliation of another. It is borrowed from a word from German with no direct translation. Okay. Yeah, maybe it applies to everything. But I tend to think the only time I feel comfortable with it is if the person is okay. And so that's what's important about this clip is that she's okay.
Okay.
But anyway, Joy Behar took a fall in front of a live audience on The View. And here they come. Yeah, you're going to have to not show too much of it, but they come out. It's very professional. They wave.
She tries to take a seat.
There's a lot of waving. There's a lot of cheering going on.
Seems like typical.
Yeah, and then I want you to hit play. Nope, right now. Hit play because this is what we get to see. Bang!
Oh, so you don't actually see the fall?
No, we just see sort of the aftermath here. And let's run it back. Okay, here we go. They show the crowd. Bang! And then everybody scrambles. What happened here? And it's sometimes with these falls you can get injured. I don't think that she. I don't know if she got injured or not. I don't think so.
I guess because she was old,
she's 70. She's 79 years old, so
Exactly,
she totally could have got injured.
Yes.
She regained her composure. Whoopi was like, "These chairs, they're the worst. They move." That's what happens every time. Have you ever seen like a family member, like an older family member, they missed the chair or something, and everyone's like, "Those chairs."
Everybody's angry.
Yeah, those are the worst chairs.
How would the chair feel?
Stupid,
You
stupid chair. It's like everyone else figured out the chair's just fine, but it's like these chairs are the worst.
And then an uncle kicks it.
Yeah, breaks it actually, takes it out to the dumpster. Stupid chair. Yeah, these chairs move with the twirling seats. I don't know. Do they have to sit in those chairs? Can they get a comfortable chair like we have?
They're more in like a round table.
But why do they have to be?
Pivot.
Do they have to be?
I mean, they built this set. They're not going to.
I know. I don't know why it has to be that format. I don't want to be on one of those stools for that long. I'm trying to formulate my thoughts. I need to be,
comfortable.
not thinking about any of these things. Right. I don't need to be 79 years old falling down, right?
No.
Ooh,
so
that one's rough.
No, I think she's okay. I think she's okay. Well, you're very concerned. I don't think she's injured.
No. There was a controversial thing that happened last week about during the Ukraine war. She said that she wanted to take a trip there, and then it got canceled because of the war, and then she got backlash.
She was trying to go to Italy, and she's like, "Now my trip to Italy is going to be screwed up," and everyone's like, "What did you say?"
And this is
that's what you're waiting for?
Yeah, that's weird, bizarre thing to say.
Oh, she finally took the trip we've been waiting for, not the one she's been waiting for. Will, you're a nasty guy. You're a nasty guy, Will. I can't believe you typed something like that. You're a nasty guy, Will. But anyway, yeah, I think she's fine.
Okay.
BTS smashed. This is Guinness World Records. Smash followers record on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. They're like, yeah, we'll have all of those. We'll take all of those.
Like combined or
just all of them? We'll take all of them.
You can have them.
We'll take one of each. The boy band collected 3 new social media records during the last month, making it even more clear that their influence spans far beyond the world of music. And look, they're actually picking up their Guinness plaques here. Music sensations, ambassadors of numerous global corporations, and serial record holders, BTS and their army continue to prove that they are a force to be reckoned with. Most followers on Instagram for a music group, okay, which is what? What's the number?
Oh, so they made it like a
60
genre?
million.
Like a subgenre?
It's a genre. 60 million for a music group. Because Kardashian got more than that. And
no, but I'm saying, is it combined like all of their followers, like the individual.
Cristiano Ronaldo got more than that.
Yeah, he does.
But yeah, no, it's not combined. It's just for a group, I guess.
He has army tattooed on his
knuckles.
Well, let's see. I'm in the army now.
Yeah.
BTS Big Hit Official. Why is their handle? They wouldn't give them BTS. You know, if I'm Instagram, I'm not giving BTS, or they didn't want BTS. They want BTS Big Hit Official.
I hate Instagram. It never loads for me.
Well, that's why Mo quit for Klondike.
Yeah, good job, Mo.
Okay, and do we have? Well, that's the crazy part. I guess you can combine it. If you were to combine it, it would be nutty because each individual
has massive
guy is going to have
on top of the main official account.
Tens of millions of followers, and then.
Well, this guy had 40.
But then I guess it's a lot of it's crossover too.
35.
Right? If you follow one of the guys, you're going to follow the official account.
You're right.
As well.
And you're probably going to follow the other
Imagine you only like one of them and you hate the group. You're like, I'm not following the group, but I love the guy.
Which one's you?
I like yellow pants over there. Orange.
You're this guy, Mo?
I'm one of those guys.
Lou, you're full denim. That's you.
I was either going to take full denim or crouching shorts.
Crouching short. I think I see you as full denim.
It's possible. Yeah. I don't know.
With the blue hair? You like
the blue hair was creating my problem there. But, you know, it was more his comfort, the comfort of his position. Mm-hmm. I might attempt something like that, you know. And the other guy's got his hands in his pockets, which, you know, I love the idea.
It's a comfortable position to be in.
So it's not bad either.
Will he do?
And I'm not big on the accessories. Like, I don't want to have too many accessories going on, which is why I can't take gold pants at the moment in that outfit, or even the pajama outfit in the front there.
I like the pajamas.
I mean,
it feels comfy.
Yeah,
maybe it is, but it's, you know, with all the patterns and stuff.
The patterns are a little much.
It can get crazy. So anyway, what do they got on TikTok? Let's see. TikTok, they got 45 million fans, right?
Okay, so 35.
On the BTS _official_ big hit. They got to get the better handles going on.
Yeah, I don't know what this is.
This is holding them back. They're going to have even more records if they got the better handles.
All right,
and
what's Twitter?
Most followers on Twitter for a music group at, you must have scrolled past it. 44 million.
Cool picture.
44 million.
44 million followers. BTS _TWT.
What's going on?
Oh.
I mean, why are their names so different on each different platform?
Yeah.
It's so bizarre.
It is very bizarre.
They didn't pay off the right people. It does seem wild that they wouldn't be able to get BTS everywhere, but they didn't. They didn't even. And maybe it showcases how capable they are, that they don't even need
it,
cohesive handles to crush. Yeah. It could just be a string of characters, and people will find them and be like, "That's BTS." Gene Simmons says Kanye West deserves slap for attacking Kim and Pete. Gene Simmons staying in the mix.
Yeah. On
social media, he was doing crypto. I feel like I remember him doing Doge stuff, and I guess somebody asked him about this situation with Kanye and Kim and Pete Davidson, especially after that weird music video from the other day. And so he's got an opinion. What does he say? Well,
he's pretty eloquent. He kind of tells Kanye that he's talented, but he needs a slapping for just doing some stupid stuff with Pete Davidson.
He's out of his mind.
Would he be considered? Would this be considered? People are sort of laughing at it and encouraging it.
This is your wife, somebody.
Ex-wife now.
Mother of your children.
Yeah. Would this go over well if he wasn't the celebrity?
It's not childish. There's something clinically wrong with it.
Clinically wrong. I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is a psychological problem.
Do you think Kim and Pete need to file a restraining order against
You
Kanye?
don't need to do that.
Yeah.
Pete's
just a slap.
Cool guy, takes the high road, and just ignore it.
Just ignore it?
Yeah. No, at a certain point. if everybody misbehaves, a good bitch slap.
Oh,
Sorry, I didn't realize I was such an asshole.
Is that what Kanye needs?
Are you going to do it?
No.
That's possibly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
Just the
think that's
little
going to
one.
work.
No.
That's not, I don't think that's the best advice. I don't think it's going to work, Mo.
No. A slap is not going to it's not going to help, I don't think.
This thing is quite tangled up
Mm-hmm.
here. And I don't know that there's a simple or immediate solution as far as that conflict is concerned.
No. But it was interesting that he was like kind of taking the side of like, okay, there's something bigger. There's a bigger issue here.
Mhm.
Kanye's,
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he did that at first, and he's like, you know what? Forget all that.
Well, this is
It's like, I think we need to be aware this person is struggling and has some issues and really needs some serious help. And we're talking clinically. And he's like, upon further thought, you ever imagine just a good bitch slap is gonna be the one to do it? That'll sort it out.
yeah.
It's kind of weird to watch that transition take place in a short clip.
He was going so well.
But it's also weird because you get approached by this TMZ person and they start asking you questions and I don't know, he's on the patio drinking a cappuccino and you got to kind of, I mean, I guess you agree to talk to them, but it's got to be kind of awkward anyway.
Yeah. And then I guess Pete Davidson, he's not really going to war with Kanye. He's kind of just hush-hush.
My understanding, he tried to text him and say, hey, man, let's not do all this.
Yeah.
And it didn't go over well.
I guess that's what you do. He's taking the high road at the very least.
I don't even know if that's what you do. It may enrage even more. You might just shut up and not even message anything.
Sure. Yeah. But he's not like going to war with him.
No, he's not retaliating. Had I not had a Ring camera, TikToker says, she caught a real estate agent showing her house even though it wasn't for sale.
A Ring camera.
Yeah, the camera at the front door, the doorbell camera.
Mm-hmm.
Why would the real
By
estate
accident?
agent even want to do that? The incident, she says, was caught by her camera and shared the footage on TikTok. In the video, the apparent real estate agent walks up to the door, rings the doorbell before waiting for his clients. No one is home. I'm thinking there may be a religious group or a salesman. When the clients arrive, they walk over to the side of the house. The homeowner then sets an alarm, causing them to return to the front of the house. The realtor, however, enters the home through the back door to let the clients through the front. Does he have the wrong place?
He must have the wrong
I
place.
think so.
He just got the wrong house.
Yeah.
It's
because
still weird.
What does he have to gain?
Once the alarm's going off and you're going in the back door, you got to be a little...
Well, don't do that.
Yeah, exactly. You got to have a little second analysis and say, wait, maybe I'm not supposed to be in here. Maybe I better go next door or something.
Mm-hmm.
But it's true. If she or he did not have the camera, then the showing would have just taken place.
There's a lineup of people outside, potential buyers,
Right. Yeah.
just looking at the house.
He's like, I can show you the outside. They're like, nice house on the outside. It looks like a house to me. Yeah.
yeah, that's pretty freaky.
It's pretty weird. Definitely weird. Did they say that they find out? Did he get confronted? Or now, mind you, my dog is home. Apparently not a very good guard dog. No, definitely not. In a follow-up video, TikToker shows police arriving just as the realtor and clients are backing out of the driveway. She called the police as soon as they entered the house and left work to head home. Okay, so I guess the cops did show up. Because I guess there would also not be a way. I guess you would assume it was a real estate agent the way he was presenting with a folder, but you don't know for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing was stolen
Or
from the home.
pretending to be a real estate agent just to get inside. to
Maybe.
steal. Yeah.
I don't believe that they were casing my house or trying to sell my house out from under me. He did seem sincere. The real estate agent said he was supposed to be showing the home next door. Yeah, there you go. And it was an accident.
Yeah.
He also said the neighbor told him to enter through the back door. Yeah, it's a mistake. What can you really do? I mean, it's obviously you wouldn't want it have it happen, but it was a mistake.
But Ring camera saved the day, I guess.
Yeah, certainly helped out.
Nice to have.
Better dairy slices. Animal-free cheese. Look at this. Okay, so this is real milk products without the cow.
So it's stringy.
Imagine making milk without the cow. Food tech company Better Dairy is closer to getting its aged and hard cheeses into the testing phase after securing 22 million. The UK company, still in R&D, is developing animal-free cheeses using precision fermentation. He explained that animal-based dairy farming was hugely unsustainable, needing 650 liters of water to produce just 1 liter of milk. Whoa. And utilizing a process that emits the equivalent of over 1.7 billion tons of CO2 into the atmosphere. That's one thing that people you wouldn't necessarily know. If
you won't connect those two dots.
You're walking through the supermarket and you see, dairy-free cheese. Mm-hmm. And there's like the planet, like a cartoon of the planet is on the label, right? And there's like happy faces, and you've saved the world by buying the cheese.
A couple of badges.
Right. And then it's like, actually, you just emitted the equivalent of 1.7 billion tons of CO2 trying to do better than the cow. You don't think about it. But anyway, yeah, so he's saying the way that it was, whatever the previous process was for trying to generate this equivalent milk was just not feasible. Anyway, so they went with this precision fermentation technique to produce products that are molecularly identical to traditional dairy.
Nice.
The process is similar to brewing beer, with the end result being dairy. Imagine you could brew your milk. What? While other food tech companies are tackling softer cheeses like mozzarella or whey proteins, Better Dairy is targeting hard cheeses, a process that is more complex in a more sustainable way. So I suppose the hard cheeses we're talking about, the like a Parmesan or something.
Yeah.
Which would be delicious, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm. It crumbles like it too.
We see limitations in hard cheese, similar to trying to create an animal-free steak. By building a team that includes a chief scientific officer with 30 years of expertise making proteins from the pharmaceutical industry, we realized we could go complex and do it consciously. They're not the only ones going after the dairy space. How about these companies? Every Company, Notco, Climax Foods, easy,
what
Will,
a name,
and Perfect Day. They're all working on these things. They have now expanded to 35 employees, and they have a new 6,000 square foot laboratory. The science of cheese is crazy, Will. You think about the attributes of cheese.
Organisms.
And how many, if you can't eat cheese, what happens? Like pizza's gone and all if you're not eating cheese. Mm-hmm. And then you got this cheese, and yeah, it's a lot of CO2 and 650 liters of water, but the cheese never touched a cow. Go back up to the top shot and look at that cheese. Cheese is weird, man. Look at it. How you gonna? It's such a weird substance when you really think about it. In a laboratory setting.
Complex chemistry.
Holy cow.
It's a solid, it's a liquid.
See what I said?
I saw.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Well. Anyway, good luck. Well, hopefully they can make it, figure out a way to do it that actually makes sense. And
would you try it? Lab-grown cheese?
Try it? Oh, for sure I'd try it. Yeah, I'd give it a crack. Yeah. I mean, assuming it's past whatever it needs to pass.
All right, last one.
Oh, you picked the perfect one for the last one, Will. Good job. Great job. Well done. So in this scene, what we have is we are in some kind of, I really want you to focus on atmosphere here. We are in some kind of historic town, maybe in Europe somewhere, And you have a street performance going on. However, what you have here is a tourist who gets in on the action and jumps on the contrabass. And kind of these people are figuring each other out, and they're sort of just vibing together.
A bit of a jam session?
Which is really what we should all aim to do is to try to find a way to vibe together. Now, my favorite guy, just pause this for 1 second because I want people to...
Let me guess.
Well, you already know my favorite guy. Stop it. My favorite guy in the front here, okay? I want you to look at his expression. He's hard to read. And when you have the sound off, you're not even sure if he is fully agreed to this situation.
Okay.
Like, excuse me, you're going to play... I don't know about all this, all right? Are you any good or whatever? He looks skeptical, right?
Well, why is this instrument here? Like, what were they waiting for another
Well,
person?
why don't we play let's play the clip and
Because I'm suspicious.
Let's play the clip here and let's watch, okay? So the guy in front, he's like, okay, all right, I hear you. He's like, no, really play it. Let's do it. He got a little smile. He's like, okay, I feel like this guy can play.
Oh, this is so nice.
He like, you know what? You might even get me going. You might get my legs involved.
He stands up.
Oh, now it's just playing its riff, and now it's just...
jamming.
Okay, now he's like, go ahead. He's like, break it down for him. But he's got such a serious look, like that analysis. He's like, all right, he's pretty good.
The jury's still out with this guy. He hasn't decided.
Hey, he looks at the crowd. He looks at the camera. He's like, check him out. He might be all right. He points into the crowd. Hey, check him out. He's like, guy not half bad. Okay. He's like, but he's like, you know, I got to get back involved.
Hey, he's got his album.
He's like, let's start the real show here. He's like, all right, give it back to me now. Watch this. Look at the atmosphere. How old is that building? How old is that building that they're sitting in front of? My God. 1,000 years old. Mo.
I want to know where it is.
Mo.
This is lovely.
No, you're not going anywhere, Will. Don't you dare reach for that. The only time you're allowed to fade is when this is over. The very end. We're doing atmosphere right to the end. She comes for the photo. Come on, get out of there. Get out of there. And then, like, her husband doesn't get the photo, so she just stays there. Oh, get out of there. Okay. No. Watch. Watch. You're like, damn, they nailed it. And doing the front's like, don't you dare go anywhere. Watch, dude.
We're not done here.
Now you gotta go double.
I got the toes tapping now.
He like, oh, you didn't think I had that 2-time on it. And then he looks at the other guy. He's like, have you got it? And the other guy's like, oh, I got it.
And that's Willie doing the back with the guitar?
Yeah.
Now he gives him the solo. Meanwhile, this guy's just a tourist. He's like, what did I get myself involved in?
No, he loves it too.
He's like, man, I can do a little something, but I didn't think I was gonna be here all night.
There's doubt in his eyes.
The guy in front?
Yeah.
That's my guy. Yeah, he knows a thing or two.
He knows exactly when to throw it and bring it back too. He's like, all right, that's enough. Now I'll take over again.
It's like a language, man. Like, he's not even, like, the translation into notes, it's just so automatic. and so obvious to him. Like, oh, this is exactly what I do.
Yeah.
This is exactly how I partake. Okay, for real now.
Wow.
Now, Will, I want you to watch what happens at the very end, okay? To answer your question.
Is it this guy?
He goes, you better give me that back now.
Yeah.
He goes, don't you think, all right, that you took my spot over
Now
here?
get out of here.
Yeah,
Shoot.
you get the hell out of here showing up in front of all these people, man. This is my
Make me look bad.
my contrabass over here. Good on that guy, man. He just got in there, and you hear the money going in, right, for the street performance. You can hear the change hitting. If that's not atmosphere, I don't know what is. How about that for a moment in time captured? Shout out to Reddit. Shout out to these street performers. Shout out to the tourists who jumped in. I love the spontaneousness of it. I think that the spontaneousness of it sort of is it starts with the individual reaching for the instrument, being willing to play with these people who they would have no relationship otherwise,
and them allowing it, and them welcoming them,
and then the spontaneousness of the actual performance. To say, oh, what are we doing? A little dance that takes place with the
no rehearsal,
with the jam, and then the seriousness of the individual in the front there. So anyway, that's a lovely way to do it. I know Mo wanted to know where that was. Maybe somebody has a comment in there. Oh, El Duomo. I guess that means they're in Florence. It doesn't say that, but I assume. Maybe you want to look that up. Maybe you want to verify that before I misspeak, as I'm sure I've done many times and will continue to do because it's just a lot of talking, isn't it? Maybe in the description it'll say.
Yeah. Florence, Italy.
Florence! We did it!
Yeah.
We did it! It's another episode in the books. Thank you to everybody that joined. We are doing it. Told you before, I'll tell you again, we're doing it. Show happens at 12
When
noon.
are we back?
That's 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. Do your calculations. Make your adjustments. Be with us. Go on this ride. I guess today's Friday. That means we'll see you on Monday. 12 noon Eastern.
Just leave this room.